What's up, guys? 747 and welcome watch for the plot. Scott for more content coming your way. So we are watching a show called Shin Seiki Inma Seiden. So we're basically following Himiko trying to destroy the world to revive her sister who was getting by her husband named Fujio. Now, how is she going to go about reviving her sister? Easy. All she has to do is violate 5 to 6 able-bodied girls who have latent potential in them, who also can activate the said dormant statues, who then in turn can form a pentagon to destroy the world. Very similar to the Fullmetal Alchemist ending, and very similar to Naruto's Jinchuriki capturing the unsuspecting people brimming with power, essentially. And I can say that this show here did not get influenced by those two animes, because this show was made in 2002, Naruto 2006, 2007. So Fullmetal Alchemist actually originated in 2001. However, the ending itself was in 2002, 2003. So therefore, technically speaking, Fullmetal Alchemist could have gotten inspired by the show, and so could have Naruto. Yes, that's right. I'm finding the origins who are our favorite beloved shonen. So she's going about this by summoning her lackeys, for lack of better words, Sagawa, Takashi, this old buff guy I don't have the name of exactly, and she's having them lure out women who have potentials, and then once they find out that they do have potential, I don't know how exactly they find out because they don't really mention that, but they do it anyway. They summon the third king or the Iron Mask to violate the girls, and then the girls activate the sheaths, which is again how they bring out the power within them to then go activate the dormant statues so they can awaken and end the world. How does Hitomi, the principal, the antagonist of the story, who I've decided to name the antagonist, I couldn't really find out until the end of the show, which kind of proved my point. How did she go about having such a plethora of women to go through to find the ones with power? Well, she is the principal of a college. Now, one thing that was interesting about how she's going about gathering all these women to activate the statues, Jinchuriki style like in Naruto, is that her daughter has always had that latent potential to be sacrificed for the greater good. Himiko never really goes for Hitomi, her daughter, until the very end when Hitomi volunteers to give up her life for Himiko when all else failed. Because when Himiko was on her last leg, not herself, but like her lackeys, because both of her lackeys, Sagawa, Takashi, and the other buff guy, all got murked by Kira and Kaori, the Kamiyama family and Kamiyama family's assistant, butler, friend, whatever, for the means of like recruiting women to then sacrifice to end the world, because she just needed one more left, and without her lackeys doing so, then she's kind of at a dead end here. So when her daughter Hitomi volunteers her life, her best friend Mao's like, whoa, let me stop this right quick. And of course, obviously, given the fact that Himiko is a dumb ass, evil, maniacal woman, she's gonna stop Mao from any seances, any chance that she wants to do to prevent Hitomi from sacrificing life, and just cancel the spell out. Now, right when the spell's about to cancel out, Kaori comes in from the Kamiyama family, her sister pretty much, to aid and boost Mao's power to then nullify and end the entire sacrifice, and we end off with this very somber ending, a twist to a slightly ominous / happy ending with Hitomi actually not being dead, we assume. And the interesting part about this entire show is the build-up, right? The build-up is so monumental. What it basically goes through is Mao's character to finally realize that the latent power that was within her, that was sacrificed for the greater good, was so vast that she didn't go comatose like everyone else did. She instead came back and was able to continuously fight against Otori's family to try to delay the sacrifices to end the world. Now, Maui and Kaori, being as aggressive as they were in the beginning, kind of fucked them over. I would blame more Kaori, because what she would do, right, is she would try to stop Himiko from all these girls at all costs. However, she wouldn't stop the girls from being violated when they were getting violated. She would try to stop it from happening. Once it did happen, it's like, oh, well, I tried all I could. I mean, hey, you know, whatever. Because she's more focused on trying to get Maui to activate her powers rather than actually stopping all the sacrifice from happening. And given the fact that Maui doesn't really have full access to her powers and relies on Akira to save her ass every single time when she tries to save someone, a lot of sacrifices go through that I really shouldn't have because Kaori's being so ignorant. Now, there was a couple times when Hitomi from the Kamiyama family, which is the same family that Himiko is, you know, the whole villain that's starting this whole shit, you know. There was a time when she did save Mao because she's very close to her. Not because they're related, but because like Hitomi has a really weird like tsundere standoffish stance when it comes to anybody. Because her father is a rabid Kumar who just violates any woman that Himiko throws his way. Because Himiko wants to torture them even more for not being a worthy enough sacrifice. This whole story is insane. There are a bunch of other moving pieces that I do want to include, that do want to like just cram in here. It is very, very worth getting involved in. I'm gonna say right now, okay, it is very worth it. Mainly because how many people like die who have like a decent backstory? So basically goes through Himiko's goals of very simple, just reviving her sister, and makes those goals seem very convoluted, and they just flesh it out way more than it should have, which is actually good. Because it's basically like, this keeps expanding and expanding, it's bigger and bigger for that one core reason. Now, this seems like a dumb reason to want to get involved in a story, but basically what I'm trying to say here is like, they're taking a very little thing and stretching it very thin, but the stretching very thin is actually good because it's not the only thing getting stretched in the entire show. I probably shouldn't have said that. That was Shinsekai Inma Seiden. Now I did hype it up. I said there's gonna be massive editing and shit, but I'm gonna be honest here, I'm lazy as fuck. I gotta work 40-hour, 50-hour shifts of dishwashing. I'm not gonna be doing all that shit, but it is a good show. Get your ass in there, watch it right now. If you ain't fucking watching it, unstuff me, bitch, you fucking. But yeah, Happy New Year. The last video I uploaded wasn't in the new year, so I didn't really wish you guys Happy New Year, but Happy New Year 2021. All right, guys, I'll have an outro, but if I did, wouldn't matter because don't make fun of the video. Good night. Also,